Between Sundays, tell me, what does it look like for you, Sibu?
For me, between Sundays, to summarize it in one word, it's probably yo. I think it's more navigating now, learning the things that you have learned, things that you've been taught. This is where now faith, integrity comes into action. And the reality of it is that we're navigating day-to-day life, school, work, responsibilities, eating healthy, and it just becomes a lot. And I think also it's between the learnings and the teachings that you find within a church is now how do you practice them into your day-to-day lives. And I think for me, it's just, summary, it's just yo.
I like the key word I'm getting is that it's practice run. For me, I feel like, on the relay, I feel like the pastor on Sunday would have done his job, and now in between Sundays, they've passed the baton that I must run, I must practice, I must put the word into practice. That's how it feels like for me. And sometimes it can be a real challenge because the word will be like, and I'm like, am I ready to do this? Am I fit enough to do this? So help me God. That's what it feels like for me.
Oddly enough, I think when you're referring to reference now to the baton, I'm going to look at it figuratively, and I'm going to take it like a Bible.
Yeah.
I think you get home on a Sunday, you take your Bible and you put it there. It's similar to the baton. You take the baton, you beg and it will deal with itself there. And the reality is that now, funny enough, we don't take the baton to work. We don't take the Bible to church. You just leave the baton there. It will deal with itself there.
Come Wednesday, you dust it off.
Not even Wednesday. Wednesday, app your phone. Sunday, that's when you dust the baton again. Like, baton, yeah.
That is really what goes on for some people, and it's a challenge because we ought to live our faith every day. We know to practice it because they say practice makes perfect. That's what people say. So if we don't practice your faith, if you don't exercise your faith, how do we expect it to grow? So that's another challenge. That's something we should all look into.
True. I think also we are tied to a lot of things in our lives. We are tied to work, we are tied to responsibilities, we are tied to obligations, and we're also tying ourselves to a lot of expectations as well.
True.
And probably another figuratively, it was Bible, and you look at this Bible as a rope, but more than anything else, the Bible, it's a guideline, but it's up to you now how to practice it, how to live it up, and how to live through it. And well, not how to live through it, how to live day-to-day life, every day in existence. And I think for me as well, it's more like, yes, now it's now more of living day-to-day, navigating life.
True.
But we tend to find ourselves tied a lot. And I think also figuratively, when I was referring to the Bible, I'll probably reference it now similar to when Jesus was talking to his disciples, and he was referencing and he was speaking about this donkey that was tied to the tree. He could not see the donkey. He was not even in the same place that the donkey was, but he was referring to this donkey now that was tied to a tree. And I think when we reference it to ourselves as well, we are now, what are we tied to in ourselves? And probably for you, what would be one thing that you are tied to?
I have to confess, it's social media being one of them. And I always forgive myself because I studied media, PR and com. So I'm always like, this is what I studied, this is me. So I always not be able to find the differentiation between overutilizing social media and evangelizing on social media. What do you feel about evangelizing on social media, and what's your role, basically?
So
that's my question.
When an excuse, because you studied, you're allowed to be on social media, allowed to be on Facebook and Instagram. And
I'm prone.
I think, funny enough, you find people saying they are fasting social media, and like, I think for me, like, how do you fast social media? But again, social media is, how do you limit it to yourself? How do you limit it to your day-to-day life? I don't understand people who fast social media, but again, I understand why people stay off social media, because when you get onto social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, it tells you who you need to be. And now you want to reference yourself to what the things that you're reading, you want to reference yourself to the things that you do not have, that you want to have. One could be tied to social media. Yeah,
that is true. Do you know what you could be tied up on?
Oh, Lord. I think for me, I'm probably tied to, it's a tough one. I think there's a lot of things. I think it's more the expectation that I have to be where I'm at my current point in life. I think because I look at my current age, I look at the things that I have, and I look at my peers, and I'm trying to measure myself to that. So I'm tied to self-expectations, and I measure myself to people around me, what they've done, what they've achieved, and where they're at in life. So I'm really just now using this matrix to say, oh, Philile ula.
Yeah,
okay, I need to
yeah.
level up to this thing.
She was my classmates. I'm more or less their age. They're in my church. They used to be colleagues with myself. So I know. Yeah. I know. And at our age, the whole marriage talk and the whole kids talk, because our peers are married, our peers have kids, and you almost like, am I even part of this conversation? Should I add? Should I comment? So it does get like that to me with my circle of friends. I don't know about yours.
Valid. I think also, I think also we get too comfortable in trying to measure ourselves to other people around us. And when we are not able to measure ourselves to other people, we look for things that we can, but we look for things that will bring us to that level, and because we are not comfortable where we are stuck. And sometimes we do get comfortable in being stuck where we are stuck, and we shouldn't be stuck in general. But in essence, but we just tend to get too comfortable with being stagnant in our lives, and it's an unfortunate reality.
Yeah, speaking about stagnation, do you feel you're in the same position you were last year? And what's the difference between you last year and you this year?
Last year probably one, I would say being Goisha, big time.
Go.
And yeah, I think probably in Go it's because of being stagnant, being one, unemployed, one, navigating finances, one, navigating failed things.
Which can cause anxiety as well.
Valid. And I think it's also one of the things that, especially when you are incomplete in your Monday to Saturday, and then you come on Sunday and you learn these things and you get empowered, and then you have to go back to your reality where you do not have a job, you do not have a money, you do not have a wife, you have to cook for yourself.
Bachelor.
So you have to navigate all those learnings. And I guess also, and the sad part is that, between Sundays, you come on Sunday and you put up a facade to say, but back at the ranch,
I know. It can feel like that Sundays you want to listen to the word, you amped up, you want to practice, and then the reality of your life comes to play on Monday to Saturday. So your feelings on how we can overcome stagnation?
Sure. It's a tough one. I think it's a day-to-day thing. There's no solid thing,
blueprint,
like probably say like Moses. There's no tablet where it's written in black and white to say, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. There's no, you could process it to say, step 1, step 2, step 3. But at the end of the day, it's just waking up in the morning, bathing. It's because there's no something solid that one can hold on to say, this is it, this is the blueprint. But again, it also depends on who you surround yourself with. What are you learning? What are you pouring into yourself? The people around you, what are they pouring into you? It's the journey, the people in your journey.
Community is very important. Community is very important.
Yeah, it's people of your journey. I think the people of your journey, one can build you, or one, they can destroy you. I think for me as well, it's people in my journey. So I'm trying to find the right people in the journey. And also finding the right people in the journey, for me, I'll probably reference it to last year, something similar that we spoke to last year being Goisha. And you learn, okay, these are not the right people in my journey. So now how do you cut off those people out of the journey? Now finding the right people that you can carry through the journey with. And sometimes some things we learn with trial and error. There's no solution to and you just navigate yourself with the right people in your journey, the right community, people who can pour into you as much as you can pour back into them as well.
That is so true. Just a question that pops up in my mind. What haven't you let go of in your walk that you feel like Christ wants you to let go of this, and you feel like, I'm still unsure, am I ready?
If I had an answer for you, it would not be holding me anymore.
Oh yeah.
The fact that I do not have an answer, I'm still holding on to it. It's a tough one, and I'll probably reference it to what I referenced to as well. It's just self-inflicted pressure.
True.
You measure yourself to other people. So it's one thing that I'll probably say I'm still holding on to. And I think also just getting out of the mental state, if it's all in your head, it's all in your head, it's all in your head. And sometimes you need to step out, and part of stepping out just to find a community, starting to find people that you can hang out with, friends. And probably definitely for me, it's just finding a community that you can associate yourself with, a community that can build you. I'm trying to think what's the one thing that I'm still holding on to, or something that's still holding me back.
I'll tell you mine. I'm still trying. I'm still trying to understand how dying to self and letting go and letting God be God. That's still a challenge for me. But I feel like I want to see myself in the story. I want to see how I play out things. For example, if I'm instructed to pray for someone, I'll be at home after praying for someone, I'll beat myself up. I should have said this, I should have said it this way, I should have I should have asked them if they want to be saved. I should have, I'm always beating myself up on how I should better myself, even in my spiritual walk. I feel like I should be giving myself enough grace in the walk, but I currently am not. So I feel like I'm also getting in between, or I am the hindrance sometimes for Christ to use me. Yeah, I feel that's what I need to let go of. I need to let go of myself, surrender, then just rest in Christ.
But what does that look like as well? How do you let go and fully surrender? I think also we find ourselves in times where we always want to be in control of things. I think when you're not in control of yourself,
it's a challenge. It's
how
different.
do I give control to the next person? I think for me, it's always wanting to be in control of things, because sometimes when you're in control and things fall apart, you have no one to blame. So I think for me, when you're mentioning it now, it's coming into my head. It's just letting go of control. You always want to be in control, because once you're not in control, like you're sitting at the back seat, there's nothing you can do, and you've missed your stop because you're not in control. So I think for me, definitely being in control. And also, it's quite difficult as well not to you're constantly beating up yourself. Again, you can only beat yourself up for things that you're in control of.
Yeah.
So something similar that you're referring to, that you did not pray for somebody, or you did not listen to the Spirit of God in that moment when it said, lead in this direction. And unfortunately, if you are not in control in the moment, you cannot beat yourself about it overly and overly. Some things are within your control, some things are out of control. So probably closing up finally, where to from here? What's next?
Jesus has to take the wheel, and I have to surrender. That's what's next. I don't want to beat myself up for things that I'm unable to do yet. I feel like in my walk with Christ, I'm in a certain level, but the more I trust Him, the more He unveils Himself to me. So I'm just wanting to learn how to trust God more, so I learn more from Him and be like Him more. That's all I want to be. Just to be the Philile that I'm supposed to be, that God has ordained me to be.
Sure. Probably for me, same question, what's next for me? Definitely it's just trusting the process, you know. And sometimes, you hear people saying, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process.
There's a process, no, we're trusting it.
There's a process, no, we're trusting
That's
it.
another funny question.
I think for me, it's probably allow God to be in control, allow God to be the process. Probably that will be my takeaway. It's just trusting the process.
True. And that is In Between Sundays for us. See you next time. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.